Well, Jackson County District Attorney Angel McIlrath released a video statement today on the Nolan Wells case with news that the autopsy results will be withheld for now. Wells, an 18-year-old from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, was found dead in the water just off Horn Island on the morning of July 6th. He'd been reported missing on the night of July 4th after a boating trip with friends to the island. District Attorney Angel McIlrath said the autopsy report of Nolan Wells' death will be withheld until a grand jury can review it. In her statement, she acknowledged the public's interest in the case, but said that investigators are already doing everything possible.
The pressure for answers does not change what the work requires. Our responsibility to Nolan and our community is to complete this investigation thoroughly, carefully, without compromise, supported by the evidence and worthy of the confidence of the people we serve. I also understand that many people have questions about why more information has not been released publicly.
An independent autopsy conducted by Dr. Roger Mitchell in Washington, D.C. was unable to determine the cause of Wells' death.